Hi, everyone. Again, we're with you on Enjoy English School. I'm Bruce.
I'm Antony.
Yesterday, we started to talk about Neanderthals. These were very old and some people think primitive, man-like, human being-like cousins of human beings, whom we call Neanderthals. And yesterday's lesson gave us some background on where they came from, how they lived, and why we might call them cousins. We also found out near the end of the program, some of us may have DNA from Neanderthals, even though they died out, they vanished about 40,000 years ago. They lived for about 300,000 years. So today we continue and learn more about this. Most people have no idea about Neanderthals, but it's a very interesting scientific find.
我们今天要继续介绍尼安德塔人的故事哦。那老师刚刚用到一个非常重要的字，叫做 primitive。primitive 的拼法是 primitive，primitive 就指原始的。好 ，OK， 这是一个很重要的字汇。那我们昨天也稍微提到的是说，尼安德塔人他是我们的这个远亲，对不对？还提到他的这个命名的由来，还有他的外貌大概长怎样。然后他们差不多呢，在这个地球上面存在了30万年，差不多在4万年之前4万年以前呢，他突然消失了。至于消失的原因，我们今天就告诉你。
Neanderthals, humans' distant cousins. There are several theories about why Neanderthals died out. For decades, the most popular theory was that humans developed more quickly than Neanderthals. Many scientists believed that as humans became smarter, they started several wars to wipe Neanderthals out. Perhaps they did so to gain more control over food and other resources. This makes sense as they believe humans began arriving in Europe in large numbers 40,000 years ago. Others believe that Neanderthals vanished due to natural reasons. As the number of Neanderthals was low and they were in danger of dying out, any sudden changes in their environment could have caused their extinction. Recently, a newly discovered human fossil in France proved that humans were living in Europe 54,000 years ago. This indicates that humans and Neanderthals lived together for a longer period of time than scientists originally believed. It also suggests that there may have been constant battles between the two species for thousands of years, or they may have lived in peace until human brains slowly developed to store more knowledge. Although the answers are still unclear today, hopefully future discoveries will help us understand what really happened to our ancient cousins.
Okay, we'll start, of course, with the first paragraph. There are several theories about why Neanderthals died out. If something lives for 300,000 years and then suddenly you don't find any more remains of these people, well, you can't help but wonder why. How did this happen? And scientists are famous for theories. Actually, we all theorize. And we are going to discuss what some of the theories are about why the Neanderthals vanished.
好，所以我们来看第一段的第一句话哦。他说 ，There are several theories about why Neanderthals died out。好，在这边他告诉你说有几个理论，好，可以去解释说为什么当初尼安德塔人就这样凭空消失了。
For decades, now a decade is 10 years. So when we say decades, we mean maybe 20, 30, 50, 70 years. After 100, then we talk about hundreds. After that, thousands. So decades for you guys, it seems like a long time, but it really isn't. For decades, the most popular theory about why the Neanderthals died out or vanished was that humans developed more quickly than Neanderthals. Many people think that Neanderthals were cavemen. They were really stupid. In fact, their brains were larger than ours because they were bigger than we are.
没错，所以在这边的话讲说 for decades， 好，数十年来是这样子的。The most popular theory was that， 好，大家最能够被大家接受，最受欢迎的一个理论是说 ，humans developed more quickly than Neanderthals， 因为人类的发展呢，比这个尼安德塔人要快。不要忘记了，我们昨天有提到说，当初尼安德塔人呢，他们脑袋还好像比我们当初的人类还要大一点点，可是我们的进化速度是比较快的，这是一个理论。
Many scientists believe that as humans became smarter, they started several wars to wipe Neanderthals out. So wipe out again means to remove, to make them vanish, to make them disappear.
Yeah， 所以这边看到这句话是有点伤心哦。来，他就说了 ，Many scientists believe that， 好，很多人都相信说，好 ，as humans became smarter， 好，当人类越来越聪明之后呢 ，they started several wars to wipe Neanderthals out. Wipe something out 就是想办法把它都歼灭、铲除的感觉。像刚刚前面提到的第一句话提到 die out 就是死光光了嘛，对不对？那这边的话 wipe something out 就是想办法把它灭绝掉。那也就是说，今天人类变聪明了之后，好像就发动了几场战争，然后把尼安德塔人都消灭掉了。
Perhaps they did so to gain more control over food and other resources. As people, human beings, Homo sapiens, as we moved around the world, we found new sources of food, but food was not always like today. Food is not plentiful everywhere all the time. So when they were next to the far northern areas where there's even less food, there would be competition between the human beings and the Neanderthals. But there were many more people, there were many more human beings than Neanderthals. So guess who won?
对齁，所以这边的话，老师特别用到一个字 competition，competition 就是竞争的意思。好 ，competition，competition，好，竞争。所以说你还可以用这个字衍生出来 compete。They compete for food and resources。好，可以用这种方式去表达他们去竞争。说不定当初呢，就是因为这个吃的东西不够，粮食不够，然后到发现尼安德塔人那边有，那我们把它的抢过来。所以这句话他讲说 ，Perhaps they did so。也许呢 ，they 指的是 human beings， 他们之所以这么做，是为了要 to gain more control over food and other resources， 是要得到什么东西的控制权呢？食物还有其他资源的控制权，所以他们把尼安德塔人都消灭掉了。
This makes sense. As they believe, humans began arriving in Europe in large numbers 40,000 years ago. Europe was still very, very cold then. I mentioned the Ice Age finished about 12,000 years ago, but that doesn't mean that there was no more winter. It was still a very cold climate for a long time. But the Ice Age, as I said yesterday, Europe and North America and the northern parts of Asia were completely covered in ice, not just snow, and very, very thick ice, just as we have Antarctica today. Antarctica is land covered completely in ice. That's what the world looked like before 12,000 years ago, going back a long, long time. So it's reasonable to think that this competition between Neanderthals and human beings ended up wiping out the Neanderthals. From Africa and the Middle East, Homo sapiens, people moved into Europe because Europe was starting to get warmer. And who was there? The Neanderthals. And by then the humans had better weapons, more of them, maybe better organization.
没错，老师刚刚提到一个重要的字，先跟大家补充一下 ，the Antarctica 就是指南极洲，好，也就是有南极大陆很多冰的地方。你可以想象，当初呢，在欧洲也好，或是美洲也好，他们呢都是被冰覆盖的。那时候的话是冰河时期，对不对？所以说到后来慢慢的， 到后来那个冰河时期慢慢可能消融了一点点，然后变得比较暖一点之后呢，他后来就告诉你说，他说 They believe humans began arriving in Europe in large numbers.40,000 years ago， 差不多在4万年前，刚好人类大举的进入了欧洲，而到那边可能发现了尼安德塔人，就跟他们抢夺食物、抢夺资源，最后把他们通通消灭掉。
Okay, we'll find out more about this interesting subject after our break. Okay, welcome back with us. Continuing, others believe that Neanderthals vanished due to natural reasons. Now, we just learned that maybe human beings, people, and the Neanderthals were fighting for the same resources, and that's what ended or wiped out the Neanderthals. But others believe, here's another theory, as the number of Neanderthals was low and they were in danger of dying out, any sudden change in their environment, maybe the weather got warm very quickly, no ice, no animals that used to live in that ice that they used to hunt, that could have caused their extinction. Maybe that ended up or resulted in their extinction is when a species vanishes.
所以这个重要的词汇是 extinction， 好，就是绝迹、绝种的意思，它是一个名词。如果说今天提到说 extinction， 它就讲到说一个物种突然间在这个地球上面突然消失了，这就叫做 extinction。我们来看整段这句话哦，他说其他人相信说尼安德塔人呢 vanished， 好，就我们提过这个字对不对？就消失了，due to natural reasons， 是因为自然因素而消失的。然后我比较喜欢这个版本不是因为我们大家人类就把它杀光，对不对？他说 ，as the number of Neanderthals was low， 因为他们本身人数就数量比较少嘛 ，and they were in danger of dying out， 数量少本身就有可能会慢慢绝迹，对不对？Any sudden changes in their environment， 任何环境的变动呢 ，could have caused their extinction， 意思就是任何环境的改变，老师像刚刚提到说，原本他们这个在生活里头的这些动物，可能他们比较在冷的区域，后来呢，可能气候变暖了，这些动物都不见了，没有东西吃了，慢慢人就死掉，也是有可能的。这句话特别注意的地方是，你要帮我把特别 could have caused 这3个字画起来。如果你针对过去的事件要去做推测，你不确定发生什么事情，你常常有机会听到 could have 加 VPP，may have 加 VPP。must have 加 VPP，might have 加 VPP 这种针对过去事件做推测的这种句型哦。
Okay, this guy knows grammar. You must have had a really good grammar teacher.
Wow, that's I learned from him.
Yes, well, let's take a break. Okay, we have one remaining paragraph. This is the end of our second day introducing Neanderthals to you. Recently, a newly discovered human fossil in France proved that humans were living in Europe 54,000 years ago. If you remember from the last paragraph, large numbers of humans entered Europe 40,000 years ago, and now we learn at least more than 50,000 years ago. A fossil is a stone copy, if you like, of something that used to live like a person's bones or an animal's bones can turn to stone through natural processes, and then we call that a fossil.
没错，所以这是化石的意思。好，在这边的话，我们这句话第一句话看一下咯。他说 recently 最近呢 a newly discovered human fossil。好，先确定一下 a newly discovered 就是最新出土发现的这个 human fossil 人类化石呢是在哪里 ？In France。好，在法国 prove that 证实了一件事情 humans were living in Europe 54,000 years ago。我们刚刚前面是提到说是4万年前人类大举进入了欧洲，然后把尼安德塔人消灭掉，这是一个理论嘛？可是他现在告诉你最新的数据、最新的证据显示说，其实在54000年以前，人类就已经跟尼安德塔人住在一起了，这是有证据 prove that 是证实的事情。
This is a good point to support this new theory. This indicates that humans and Neanderthals lived together for a longer period of time. Not 40,000 years ago, humans entered, and maybe within 100 or 1,000 years, boom, no more Neanderthals. At least 14,000 years, these two species were together. And that's what scientists originally believed, that if it's just 40,000 years that humans entered Europe and then there were no more Neanderthals, well, it seems like a good theory that humans killed the Neanderthals.
所以这里的话呢，他就告诉你说，事实上他就讲到说了，那这跟之前科学家们相信说4万年前人类才到了欧洲。然后呢，到了之后，尼安德塔人就不见了，那可能就是杀了他们。可是现在发现的数据是54000年以前，尼安德塔人跟人类就生活在一起了。所以说，距离他们消失的这个4万年中间还有14000年的相处时间呢。那可见中间有发生其他的事情，才会有了我们这一段里头新的一个理论。这样的话就比较理解它的逻辑了哦。所以他这句话说 ，This indicates that 这新的数据、新的证据呢，就说明了。好 ，Humans and Neanderthals lived together for a longer period of time， 就是我刚刚讲的14000年嘛。Then longer than scientists originally believed， 跟他们原本相信的事情是更长的一段时间。
This new information, this new research, it also suggests that there may have been constant battles between the two species for thousands of years. You have to remember, this is a long time. You can walk from Southern Europe to Northern Europe in maybe a year or two. We're talking about thousands of years. So there may have been a gradual movement of more and more people, Homo sapiens, into Europe, pushing back the Neanderthals as they fought each other for resources. They ate the same animals. Maybe they also ate the same kinds of plants. Because agriculture had not started yet. There was a lot of competition between them, and more people than Neanderthals. Guess who won?
呀，没错。所以这边的话呢，老师又提到说，也许你从南欧走到北欧的话，要花1年的时间。那他们讲到是好几百年，好多的时间，对不对？它是慢慢渐进的往北方推进。那中间的过程14000年，慢慢演进。也许抢食物，老师刚刚提到一个字 ，agriculture。Agriculture 就是农业，当时还没有农业发展，所以他们其实资源是非常有限的。所以这边的话，他这句话讲说 ，It also suggests that 这件事情呢，它也意味着什么 ？There may have been 有没有？我们刚刚注意到 may have been， 然后或是 could have VPP 有没有？就是在讲 might 等等，都是指针对过去事情的推测。他就讲说了，过去呢 there may have been constant battles between the two species for thousands of years， 几千年以来，他们可能这两个族群 Neanderthals 跟 human beings 长期征战，长期的不断抢资源。
Or, important word, another theory, they may have lived in peace, excuse me, until human brains slowly developed to store more knowledge. Maybe they got along together. They didn't look the same. Maybe they probably didn't speak the same language. Maybe there really wasn't language yet the way we think of language today. But during this time, the human brain got larger, and so it could understand more and project more, thinking about the future. It could theorize. But Neanderthals were stuck. They were kind of, they only knew one thing. They knew living in ice and how to hunt animals in ice, live in a cave. I have read recently that it's quite possible, like bears in the Ice Age, or even today, if you live in the north, Animals go to sleep during the winter, hibernate. They now believe that Neanderthals also hibernated. They slept during the dark part of the year near the North Pole, maybe for 3 months. They would sleep just like other animals.
哇，天哪，这个是完全新资讯。老师说他最近读到了一些文献，他有提到说，尼安德塔人他们就像熊一样，到了冬天会 hibernate。hibernate 就是冬眠的意思 ，hibernate，hibernate 就是指冬眠。他们像熊一样会冬眠，所以事实上搞不好是因为他们自己本身呢，生活上的形态啊等等，也跟我们人类不太一样。人类的话会不断的进化，就像这边所讲到的说 ，or they may have lived in peace， 他们也许是和平相处，直到 until human brains slowly developed， 好，慢慢，我们人的脑子不断的发展，学会了怎么样 to store more knowledge， 能够学会储存更多的知识，在知识上面就取得优势，就把尼安德塔人给比下去了。
Okay, we finish up with our final sentence. Although the answers are still unclear today, these are just theories. They're not facts, they're theories. Hopefully, we hope that we would like to see that future discoveries of Neanderthals and early humans will help us understand what really happened to our ancient cousins. We still don't really know, do we?
所以最后再告诉你，虽然呢 ，although the answers are still unclear today， 时至今日呢，真正答案还没有明确的揭晓。Hopefully， 好，希望以后呢 ，future discoveries will help us understand， 以后的未来的发现，研究的出土更多的这个实际的证据呢，可以帮助我们了解到底我们的远房亲戚尼安德塔人当时发生了什么事。
Okay, let's look at our 8 vocabulary words for today's lesson. Number 1 is theory. A theory is an idea about something. It's unproven, but it tries to explain something.
就是理论，虽然还没有经过证实，但是呢是一个想法。
Number 2, wipe someone or something out is to get rid of, to destroy.
去灭绝，然后去消灭所有的什么东西或是人。
Number 3, resource is anything that we can use that is helpful or necessary for us to live.
没错，这个字就是资源，我们所有能用的东西都是 resources。
Number 4, the phrase make sense means to be logical.
所以 make sense 就是合理，好，很说得过去，说得通。
Number 5, in danger of. Whoa, you don't want to be in danger of because something can hurt, harm, or maybe even kill you.
没错 ，be in danger of something 就是处在什么样的风险、危险之中。
Number 6, originally. You can use the simple phrase at first.
就是起初的意思。
Number 7, constant is non-stop. It won't stop or it can't stop.
持续很久的，持续不断的。
And number 8, the last item, hopefully. This is when we don't know, but we wish something would happen or we will try to make something good happen.
希望什么事发生的时候，你说希望顺利的话就能怎样，就用 hopefully 这个字哦。
Okay, that's it for today's program. I hope you've enjoyed the last 2 days. This is really my area here, 人类学. I've enjoyed it, and I learned something from these 2 days' lessons as well, because there is more and more new research all the time. Anyway, you join us whenever you can. We're here for you. Until the next time,
bye-bye.